On my 18th birthday, my parents drastically changed my world. At midnight, they gave me a backpack and a heart filled with betrayal, leaving me on the freezing streets of our city, destitute and isolated. The cold from that important night still stuck to my memories like a persistent shadow. I recall how the lamps blinked, creating spooky shadows on the damaged concrete below. Having only the garments I was wearing and a couple of items crammed into a tattered rucksack, I roamed without direction, feeling lost in a vast unknown. For years, I thought that family was meant to be my support, my safe place during life's challenges. But as I stood there, observing the taillights of my parents' car go in the distance, I understood that some anchors were supposed to hold you back, not propel you forward. The days merged with nights, each one more unpleasant than the previous. I slept in alleys and looked for shelter in empty buildings, my stomach always feeling hungry and hopeless. However, even amid the most difficult times, a small spark of resistance glowed inside me, a determination not to allow their unkindness to shape my future. As the seasons shifted and the years passed, I struggled to escape the deep hole, achieving minor victories along the way. I took on various tasks to cover my expenses, depending on the generosity of strangers and the strength of my determination to continue. However, the emotional pain of being left behind was profound, causing ongoing distress at the core of my being. Then, just when I believed the wounds would never heal, fate took a nasty turn of its own. 10 years had gone by since that important night when my parents had abandoned me, yet their own failure collapsed suddenly. Rumors quickly circulated among people in the town about my parents' downfall due to their selfishness and arrogance. Financially ruined, shamed, and left by former companions, they confronted the consequences of their actions. For years, I had kept a strong mix of feelings inside me: wrath, resentment, and a strong desire for justice. However, as I stood at the point where their decline was about to happen, I felt something surprising: a small feeling of kindness, balanced by the knowledge gained from past events. Ultimately, their failure did not result in my success. It was a clear indication of how easily pride can be damaged and how temporary worldly wealth can be. While observing them rebuild their broken lives, I understood that forgiveness was not about excusing their wrongdoings, but releasing myself from the grip of resentment that held me back. Within our common history's remains, I discovered salvation, not in their apologies, but in the resilience to overcome previous hurts and create a future of my own design. In the end, what determined who we were was not how we were born or what others did, but the decisions we made when things were difficult. And thus, I departed, not with a desire for revenge, but with the calm determination of someone who had ultimately discovered tranquility in the middle of disorder. At times, the most significant achievements are not determined by wins or conflicts, but by the bravery to forgive, to heal, and to welcome the path that awaits. As the stages of my life progressed, I found comfort in reconstructing what had been broken. The scars were still there, deeply ingrained in who I am, but they no longer controlled the story of my life. With increased might and toughness, I created a special place for myself in a world that had before appeared quite harsh. The sounds of my past always reminded me, helping me avoid the mistakes that had trapped my parents. I formed strong bonds with individuals who looked past my past, welcoming the close-knit group that developed from shared moments of joy, sorrow, and everyday successes. On social media, I chose to share my experience as a demonstration of the human spirit's strong determination to conquer challenges. When I shared my experiences, I was surprised by the outpouring of empathy and understanding from all parts of the internet. Unfamiliar individuals became close friends, providing assistance and motivation, while others shared their own stories of strength. The story of my YouTube channel has transformed into a source of inspiration for others dealing with feelings of being left alone and hopelessness. Viewers found comfort in the stories of redemption, realizing that, like me, they could overcome challenges and shape their futures in a new way. However, I had come to understand that life is a continuous cycle of ups and downs. Just as I believed my journey had reached a calm level, another unexpected turn was waiting for me. A note appeared in my inbox that would once again change the direction of my life. It was a letter from my distant parents, a simple request for forgiveness. They talked about feeling sorry, recognizing the hurt they had caused, and wanting to make amends. Skepticism struggled with a sliver of compassion within me as I pondered their comments. Was this a sincere effort to make amends, or a calculated strategy to ease their guilt? I was curious, so I decided to meet them despite the warnings from others. The gathering was tight, feelings whirling like a storm, on the verge of overwhelming all sense of reason. As we dealt with the challenging terrain of shared memories and unsolved issues, I faced a decision: whether to allow the past to maintain its bitterness or to consider the potential for healing. Over the next few weeks, the process of reconciliation evolved like a careful dance. Unspoken injuries became apparent, and both parties worked together towards forgiveness. It was not a fairy tale ending, but a slow development of acceptance and comprehension. Over time, forgiveness and reconciliation became integral parts of our lives. The wounds were still there, but they no longer controlled how we lived our lives. Collectively, we confronted the obstacles that life sent our way, connected by a mutual dedication to development, comprehension, and the strong connections of family, whether chosen or biological. Ultimately, my YouTube channel ended up showcasing not just personal success, but also the impactful nature of forgiveness. It displayed the attractiveness of resilience, the power found in vulnerability, and the capability of the human spirit to traverse the intricate path of recovery. As the last part of the story played out, I thought about the complex pattern of my life. A mix of suffering, success, forgiveness, and development. The tale went on, an ongoing exploration of oneself, intertwined with the environment that presented difficulties and chances. And during the peaceful times between the frames, I discovered the lasting reality that life, with all its intricacies, is like a canvas ready to be filled with the hues of our decisions and encounters. As each chapter unfolded, the story of my life grew beyond just my own challenges and family relationships. My YouTube channel has become a place not only for my own story, but for others who found solace in shared experiences and healing together. The group that formed around it showed the strength of human nature and the impact of being open and honest. Over time, I explored forgiveness and atonement more deeply. Conversations with professionals in psychology, therapists, and people who had experienced similar journeys enhanced the substance of my channel, offering a variety of viewpoints that connected with a wide range of viewers. The stories that were told didn't just focus on personal experiences, but also delved into wider topics of understanding, kindness, and the possibility of creating positive change. One specific instance was memorable: the process of making amends with my parents. The sincere honesty of our discussions resonated with viewers, leading to talks about repairing broken relationships and the intricacies of forgiveness. The comments area turned into a virtual community where individuals from many backgrounds discussed their challenges, successes, and the slow journey of repairing fractured relationships. The influence of these stories extended beyond the digital world. Requests came in for speaking events, workshops, and partnerships with groups focused on mental health and family healing. The widespread impact of vulnerability led to a shift in societal norms, reducing the negative perception of forgiving and promoting a more empathetic culture. During the ups and downs of this trip, a deep understanding emerged. Forgiveness is not a single action, but a continual process that requires continued dedication to comprehension, development, and embracing. The marks from previous experiences were still noticeable, but they no longer had the ability to control the current moment. Life, with its unexpected turns, had one more unexpected event waiting. A publisher found my channel and was impressed by the genuine and impactful stories that were being shared. The idea for a book came about, blending personal experiences, comments on society, and the stories of people who had found comfort in the process of forgiving. The process of drafting down the book proved to be a healing investigation of the human experience. It was more than just recounting events. It delved into exploring emotions, the intricacies of relationships, and the common pursuit of meaning and connection. The book, named Embrace the Echoes, A Journey of Forgiveness, had great success, connecting with people throughout the globe. The messages came in rapidly: stories of personal healing, discoveries of fresh viewpoints, and thanks for offering guidance through the complex process of forgiving. As one part of my life came to an end, I reflected on the path filled with challenges, successes, surprises, and the constant desire for a life filled with kindness. The YouTube channel stayed a consistent companion, changing from a place for personal expression to a source of encouragement for individuals dealing with the challenging journey of forgiveness. And thus, the tale carried on. A never-ending journey of development, strength, and the lasting ability of people to deal with the intricacies of life. The sounds from previous times, which were formerly disturbing, had changed into a harmonious song of making up for past mistakes, reminding everyone that in the complex pattern of life, every part, even if complicated, adds to the overall beauty. As the last parts of my ongoing journey played out, the impact of forgiveness reverberated not just in my personal story, but also in the broader globe. The influence of shared stories has caused a ripple effect, encouraging discussions about compassion, resilience, and the powerful impact of vulnerability. The YouTube channel, now a successful community, continues to act as a vehicle for genuine interaction. Viewers shared their personal experiences, forming a digital environment where empathy and comprehension flourished. Working together with mental health organizations and advocacy groups was a logical continuation of this common goal, strengthening the combined effort to promote healing and reconciliation. During this period of change, a touching reunion program appeared on the channel. Following the first reconciliation with my parents, it delved into the continued process of restoring trust, navigating the intricacies of a rekindled relationship, and the insights gained during the experience. The vulnerability shown in these episodes truly connected with the audience, reminding them that forgiveness is an ongoing journey rather than a final destination. The memoir, Embrace the Echoes, continued to impact readers, offering comfort to those going through their own paths of forgiveness. Arranging tours and public speaking events provided opportunities for in-person interactions, strengthening the connections established via shared experiences. Over time, the broken pieces of my life came together to form a pattern of strength, insight, and acknowledgement. The scars were still there, but they were no longer painful memories of the past. Instead, they showed the strength gained from accepting the challenges of difficult times. The end of this chapter was not a final destination, but a bridge to fresh opportunities. The YouTube channel, the memoir, and the community that had developed around them were evidence of the lasting fact that our tales, no matter how turbulent, have the ability to motivate, cure, and bring together. During peaceful times of thinking, I understood that the process of forgiving is a constantly changing interaction with life. It needs a receptive attitude, a readiness to face unease, and the bravery to accept the intricacies of human connections. The sounds from before, which were once scary, have changed into a beautiful combination of strength, recovery, and a strong faith in the chance for good things to happen. With appreciation for the knowledge gained and the relationships formed, I entered the next stage of my adventure. The YouTube channel kept pursuing its goal. The memoir stayed a source of comfort, and the community thrived, a living proof of the lasting impact of kindness and the wonderful connections formed through shared human experiences. As the last sentences of this chapter settled into my life story, I gazed forward with a feeling of excitement and thankfulness. The journey of forgiveness, once done alone, has now turned into a shared story, a proof of the strong will that exists in all of us, encouraging us to accept the past and create a future based on kindness, development, and the firm faith in the ability of forgiveness to bring change.